barely hear it.
That's just fun.
Very.
It's just fun. Okay, boys and girls, it is I guess week 2. Well, week 2 recap, kind of
Completion of week 2.
So,
Can't believe we already in the rhythm. Like, I mean, like,
yeah,
it's like after that last game, the last night, it was just like, week 2 is down and in the books. Like,
yeah.
yep. So,
So,
were you just as excited as week 1? Probably not. On Sunday,
yeah,
I
actually,
still had a ton of excitement. Yeah, I
yeah. I
mean,
mean,
it probably
it doesn't
wasn't
go
as
away.
yeah, it probably wasn't as great as week 1, but it was still. I was still giddy, very giddy.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I was more because the 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 games seemed like they were gonna be better. Like, all right, you got the first game jitters out of the way. Let's actually play some ball.
Yeah,
And sweet baby Jesus, people balled out.
yeah.
Um,
And remember the point you made about when I asked about the Thursday night games, and you were like, those games they're shitty games all throughout. It's just that it gets highlighted more with Thursday.
right.
One example of that last night, Carolina versus the Saints. That was a
Yeah.
typical Thursday night type of game,
But
and
you
it
kind of
happened on
should have
Monday.
you kind of expected that though, because Carolina's defense is good and their offense is not. So
I just expected more fireworks out of the Saints. I just did. I don't know.
yeah, they didn't have to. That's kind of the thing. Like, why chuck your whole playbook out there when you don't have to? It's like, it's the fucking Panthers.
Yeah,
Let's show up and do something for a little bit and call it a day.
definitely teams do that. I think that
Why
whenever
would you? Why wouldn't you?
I would, yeah, it's almost like why empty the clip on somebody. Like if you're in the shootout, you might go through 2 or 3 clips because you're in the shootout. You're trying to your man shooting you and you're shooting him, but if
It's a
you
ridiculous analogy.
I know, but if you shoot him in the first couple seconds, why empty your clip on him? I
Right.
mean, he's already bleeding out. So
Yeah,
why
they
do
did
it?
enough. They did enough to win. It's like, all right, just don't
You,
embarrass
you know
yourselves.
who you know who empties the clip damn near every week and still gets shot? The Chargers. I mean, it's like they said something like I was some type of statistic where they scored X amount of points, they had no turnovers, something. Defense played well, and they still lost both games. It's like that's curse shit.
Yeah,
With them.
yeah. That's a weird kind of situation because they got a lot of talent. Like, I don't.
They really do on both sides of the ball. You got
It's just
Boza
such
and
a
Khalil Mack is your pass rushers. You got Derwin James back there in the safety. I don't really know they linebackers all like that. I mean, well, the pass rushers, but I don't know the middle linebackers like that. Maybe that's the weakness. I don't know. But then you got Eckler,
yeah.
Mike
Herbert,
Williams,
Mike
Keenan
Williams,
Allen.
Keenan.
You got Palmer. You got an upcoming rookie. I mean, you got Everett as the tight end. Like, I mean, I don't understand how they don't know how to win. I don't. Herbert's the quarterback. I mean, I don't
Yeah, and
understand.
it's not like he's making bad decisions. He's playing well. So it's just kind of like, what is your defense doing?
While we're on that team, what we highlighted here on the last show definitely did happen. There's a reason why a backup player is a backup player. Because when they get they shine, they time to shine, they
Yep.
shit the bed. And Josh Kelly shit the bed for me, definitely this weekend.
Yep. That's why I didn't go out and buy stock. I'm like, nope, I'm all set. Somebody
Like
else
I
can
said,
jump on that grenade.
you're great as a cameo, as a group, But as soon as you get your solo album, you a piece of shit. You know, I mean, that's a classic example. It really
It's
is.
same thing with Jalen Warren, man. Everyone's like, man, he needs to start. He's looking so much better. I'm like, he's looking better because he's getting in there after Najee. He's a different type of runner. Now, let's be honest.
Warren's just a better. He just runs with more energy. It's just Najee is just so slow. It's like I don't. He just makes moves too slow for the NFL. I mean, he might have got away with that shit at Alabama because Alabama, you pretty much got pro players playing against college players, and he looked it good, but
No, we should. I mean, it's.
He's just not fast enough for the NFL to me.
I would say let's kind of work backwards here. So, I was really, really, really enjoying seeing how bad the Steelers were playing. I was very happy about it. Oh yeah.
Your Kenny Pickett evaluation is coming up true every week.
And
every snap.
I commented on somebody on Twitter today, and you know, they're like trying to like tout off about him being, you know, whatever, okay. I'm like, if you take away that Pickens, that touchdown, he was 14 for 29 for about $150.
Yeah.
What is
group
that?
Chat that my buddies have, you know, everybody's bashing him, and then you got one or two people that's sticking up for him, and he was like, "Oh, with that Pickens play, he stared it down and he took the hit." I'm like, you minus that play, you think that one play makes up for all the plays that he shitted the bed on last night and the week before? Like, it was one good play that he almost didn't make that.
Right.
So I don't know. He doesn't read defenses. He throws in the double, triple coverage, and then when the man is wide open, he's inaccurate. I mean, he definitely fooled the shit out of me during the preseason. He really did.
He's just not good, and it's just so funny hearing like Yinzer's all like, "Oh well, I mean, he's going to be
chance and all."
I'm like, okay.
I mean, it was just something about Ben when he came. Ben wasn't the greatest, but it's just he just had that it factor where you're like, okay, I could see, you know, with time this guy's going to get better. Mm-hmm. I don't see that with
this guy is not getting better. He's literally getting worse, which is impressive.
Yeah,
which is impressive because he was really fucking bad in the first place. So it's like, how do you get worse? What's worse than really fucking bad?
Yeah, yeah, he's moving backwards. The more tape he puts on film, the worse his resume gets. It's like, wow. I mean,
what's even worse,
go to a job and then you learn, you know, any said job, like the more calls you take or the more experiences you get better.
You get better.
No, this guy is going the other way. The more exposure he has, he gets worse.
Here's the scary part, because teams are still seeing his tape. So whatever minor successes he's having, like, they're gonna hone in on that too. Like, you bring nothing to the. You were like a fat, ugly chick with a shitty personality.
Yeah, remember we talked about that on
bringing nothing to the table.
What was it? Double standards? No, our version of beauty and all. And I was just like, if you're ugly and fat, you can't have an attitude on top of that. You should be nice as pie. You know, right. I mean, but there are ugly, fat, and attitude having bitches.
You can't look like a foot and smell like a foot. It don't work.
True.
All right. I think we would be remiss to not speak about Mr. Chubb and his inverted knee.
Yeah.
You said you didn't see the.
This is Jermaine.
Yeah, this is Rich.
We're about 10 minutes into it.
Yeah. Well, whatever. At this
point, welcome to the football week. I mean, I said footballed.
Yeah.
Conclusion of week 2.
Yep.
Recapping for you week 2, and preparing you for the beginning of week 3.
No one's watching Thursday's game anyway.
Absolutely.
Dog shit. Unless you got Debo or Ayuk, you ain't fucking watching, or C-Mac, you ain't
Well, I
watching
mean,
that
I
game.
got some 49ers I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to watch, but no Giants. Well, I got some Giant receivers, but I'm
That's
not
called
expecting.
a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, no, I mean, it's just against the 49ers, I'm not going to trot them out there.
No, not at all. No, that's just asking for sadness on your bench. So
yeah, Chubb last night.
You didn't get a chance to see it, and I'm very I explained to you off air. It is very, very reminiscent of Willis McGahee's Miami injury. And I remember when that first happened, they had like a spread in Sports Illustrated of the injury. I'm like, that's fucking dark. Like, yeah. It was like a fucking centerfold. It was creepy. And, I thought it was kind of cool that the broadcast
It was like, we're not going to get the
we're
show.
like, this is so fucked up.
Damn.
We're not even showing you. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
And I saw a few.
They said, go ahead and check it out on the internet. And I just haven't had a chance to today, but I'm going to check it out. I just want to see, what exactly, like you said, McGahee thing. And
yeah, you may have to search for it a little bit because there's a few of them that are just like, you don't really see what happened. There's one, and I'll see if I can find it.
Are they filtering, taking it down? Because sometimes some news is fresh, you can find it everywhere, and then as the days go on, it's harder and harder to find. They're hot, and it's
no. I mean, this is an injury. I mean, that's gonna be. I mean, you can, yeah, it's easily found. It's just the angle that I need you to see to really like drive home, though. Like, oh, this dude needs Jesus. So,
basically, I had Nick Chubb in 2 leagues, including yours. And
I shouldn't have smiled at that, but I'm playing you next week, so I'm like,
just gonna run down, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm in 4 leagues.
Yep.
And
I want to hear your 4 stories.
Yeah, I experienced 4 different angles or 4 different experiences with each league that anybody that's listening to us, or the average fantasy fan on any given Sunday or any given week can go through. Okay, so I got 4 leagues. I ended up 2-2, won 2, lost 2.
That's usually how 2 and 2 works, sir.
Good one. First league, Andrew's league. Going into the Monday night game with the Steelers, I was up by 15, and he had Pat Freiermuth. So it is very possible if he gets a touchdown, he could win. So that was a game that I sweated out, even to the end, because even
one
though Kenny
target
Pickett
for him, by the way.
Huh?
He had 1 catch.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and Kenny Pickett likes to throw to him. If Kenny Pickett wasn't playing as shitty as he was, it seemed like, at any point, most of the time they were playing catch up. So they had to pass. It wasn't like a situation where all they were going to do was run. So my heart could feel safe. At any given moment, he could just start peppering Freiermuth. And if he get in the end zone, it's a sweater. So I sweated that out. So that is a one situation on any given fantasy week that you get to that last game and you can be full sweat. You're sweating it out. Like every possession that player that you're playing, you're trying to hold on to that lead, and you experience in your contest,
a little bit.
You experienced a little bit of the sweat, So I definitely had one game that I sweated out, but I ended up winning by 14 points. So that was one. I won, but I sweated. Other one I won, your league. Went into it with, I had like 2 players going, and he had 3 players going, and 2 of the players he had going were Steelers, and it was Najee.
Oh yeah, it
and,
was Calvin. Yeah, Calvin
yeah,
Austin.
Calvin Austin and Najee, and then he had the running back from New Orleans, Jamal Williams. But I had Shaheed and Chubb. Yeah, but I had a sizable enough lead that I wasn't sweating. I was just like, if this dude somehow beats me, more power to him, because I don't see it happening, you know.
Right.
So, and when the Williams guy had got hurt early, it was like, this thing's over. So I won, and that's no sweat. So that's another fantasy scenario that any fantasy player can go through, where you do well, and even though I got a 0 from one of my players, Darnell Mooney or something, he got hurt, I still didn't have a sweat. So that was a good win. Third league, okay, went into this matchup down by, was it 154 to 161? No, 153 to 161. So down by 8. I got Nick Chubb. He's up 161 to 153. I got Nick Chubb. Swoosh, layup. Running well at the beginning of the game. Get to 160. This dude has 161. Turnover. Browns are about to go in the end zone. The tragic accident of Nick Chubb happens with 1 point to go. I hate to sound selfish, but when he was on that cart, I'm like, get him off that cart, throw him one pop pass, and let him get back on that cart. Because I don't give a fuck about him after that. I lost by 1 point by one of the most productive backs in the league on a freak accident. Like, and not to sound like a narcissist, but I felt like the fantasy gods was just only looking down on me at that point. Like, fuck you.
You won your 2, settle yourself down.
Yep. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I told you before, I'd rather get blown out in the contest than to lose like that. Where you have
you almost rather him be unproductive than to get hurt, because if he didn't get hurt, you would have won. Like, that's the thing. If he didn't get hurt, you would have won, and that's the knife in the back.
1 point is 1 point in fantasy is either 10 yards rushing, which we were in the second quarter or something like that, so he definitely was going to get 10 yards, or 1 catch, even if it's for negative yards. PPR, you get a point for just catching the ball. I wanted them to get him off that cart and with half a knee, catch it low, and then get back on the cart and be done with whatever he's doing. So that's another fantasy experience that I'm saying that on any given Sunday you can go through. The close losses are the most heartbreaking losses. They tear a lot out of you.
Quick point, and it's something I just thought about. Let's just say technically I can make my own rules, to be honest, but whatever. Let's just say I can't. What if there was a way to, when you have your team and you have your projections or whatever, and your person gets hurt, if at that point that they got hurt, you got the remaining points of their projections, and that was it. Because it's not like they got it's not like they're not being productive, it's they're hurt. I get it, that's part of the fantasy kind of thing, but
the projection, that's part of the whole you never know until you never know. And that's why they play the game, because projections are simply just projections. So you can't sit there. Some of the joy of the fantasy is David and Goliath, where you were supposed to do this, but you actually did that. So,
well, listen, I was at midway through the late games, I was at a 19% win percentage. And then I went on to have the second most points in the league by 3 points. Fucking stupid. Should have had the most, but whatever. It's fine. Anyway, what's your fourth story?
And my last story that can happen to any given fantasy player. I lost by 136 to 120. So I lost by 16. Here's the situation where the points are sitting on the bench in multiple forms. And it was my dumbass decision that cost me the game.
Okay.
I went back and watched our final preparation show, or our final show on what was it, Saturday or Friday?
Yeah.
And what I told you I was going to do, and what I actually did, was fucking stupid. Like, if I would have did exactly what I told you I was going to do, I would have won. Like, basically, I had 3 players score 26, or if I put in one of those players, I win the game. Christian Kirk. Remember, we talked about D-Hop, and I said that I was going to pull him down and put in Christian Kirk. I didn't do it. Or, no, I did it, but then I put D-Hop back in at the last minute like an asshole because I found out he was playing. Another mistake I made, remember, I said I had Josh Kelly, and you said, we talked about how a backup is a backup, and I said, I'm going to put in Mostert. Mostert dropped 31. I put in Kelly, we got 3. So I put in Kelly with that giddy dumb shit. And then lastly, I had the Steelers defense. I picked up the Jets defense, put in the Jets defense. They got me a fucking 0, and the Steelers defense had 31 points too. So if I put in all 3 of them, I blow the man out. If I put in one of them, I win the game. So that's another scenario where the only person to blame, when you have the points on your bench, the only person to blame is you. So
yeah, usually I'm not going to bust anyone's balls for like, you could have had 1 shot. You had 3 shots, so that's on you.
Yeah, that's totally on me. So
you pulled a Tomlin.
I pulled a horrible game manager, and that's exactly what I did. So on any given Sunday, you could have a scenario where you're the culprit. Because I hate when my bench is lighting up. I'd rather get blown out, and no matter what combination of players I put in, I would have still lost.
You know what's funny?
Take solace in that.
I got the inverse of that because I remember I was talking about, hey, look, I may kind of do a stack with Carr, and then I picked up Juwan Johnson too, and I had him in the lineup for a little bit. I was like, nah, let's not do that.
Yeah,
let's sit Carr. And
if you would have played Carr, you would have lost like a champ.
I would have lost.
Pissed.
And I made a few pivots. Instead of me having Juwan Johnson, I put in Devontae Parker. He was serviceable. Wasn't amazing, but provided breathing room. And it's just because between the two, it was about a 40-point difference from.
So, of your 2 quarterbacks, who was you going to sit Carr for? Geno or Goff?
Geno.
Okay.
Yeah. And they both kind of didn't really light it up. They both had good games. They both
were productive. They played against each other, and it was an overtime game. And they were lighting it up. They were chucking.
I text you. I was like, you cannot plan this any better. You have both your quarterbacks putting points up on the board. Now it's an OT.
Overtime.
Hey, this man, let's go.
Yep.
But yeah,
so, and in the 4 scenarios, like I said, either you're the problem, you lose by one or a couple points behind some freak shit, an accident. You win and you're comfortable, no sweat, and then you win and you sweat. I guess the other scenario would be you sweat and then you lose.
Yeah, that's the one that hurts.
That just. You could see the halo. You could see the what is it called? The spirit or whatever just come right out of your body, and you're like, oh.
Those are the
Go.
ones. Those are the ones that really make you rethink doing fantasy. Like you're really like, man, fuck. I don't even want to fucking
Like
do this
why?
shit.
Because you're so passionate and you care about it so much that you should be able to just brush it off, but you can't. And before we got on here, I was talking about possibly getting out of the two leagues that because I'm 0-2 in two leagues. I'm 1-1 in one league and 2-0 in another. But
Yeah.
the two leagues that I'm 0-2 in, it's not worth the emotional stress. First of all, the payout is shitty, and just having to worry about players and up and down and losing by 1 point, it definitely takes a toll on you. And if it's not worth it, then why put myself through it? So
And if
next
you're
year,
not having,
I might, at least lose one of those. I mean, I just
and if you're not having
it
fun in
takes
the
a lot
league,
out of you.
and if you're not having fun in the league, and you don't, and I don't know, like what your relationship with the people in the league are either. So
I
there's
don't
that
know.
part of it.
I don't know 90% of them. So
So
or 80% of them.
that's
So
yeah, I would probably just skedaddle.
yeah,
Um,
because being in a certain league, if you know the people, then it's just fun that you know who you're playing against. I don't
right,
know these dudes. I mean, Hayes brought me in, and that was it. I
right,
don't know them. That's his group of people.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, and that's always a weird little like. 'Cause we've had conversations too about that, and it's like, get out
Yeah,
of there.
yeah. Definitely gonna reconsider when it comes around. It's just that I do like having the luxury of not just one league because I mean, if
Right.
you lose that week, all you have it's similar to that Stiller thing when we talked about where before fantasy, if you lived and died with the Steelers, and if they played like shit, like the San Francisco game, you're sitting there depressed and you don't have nothing else to look to. So if you lose in one league, then you're sitting up there like, oh man, but I could still bounce my emotions around like, okay, I got my other league that I could possibly win in.
Right.
4 is probably a little bit excessive, so I'm gonna go with 3. I'm gonna shave it down to 3.
Yeah.
Less players to track and just it takes an emotional toll. It really does. If you care, like if
Yeah.
you're a fantasy player that don't give a shit, then
Well, if you're doing 3 leagues, you better fucking care. You gotta,
yeah, true.
Um. Yeah. So I
So
mean,
how did your week go? I mean, you said we already talked about you had to sweat, but was there anybody on your team that really shocked you as far as in a good way, and is there anyone that really shocked you in a bad way?
no. I mean, AJ Brown, and we already talked about his kind of like whatever. But I definitely figured Goff and Geno were going to go off. It was good to see Andrews get back to normal. I picked up Josh Downs, and he got exactly what he was supposed to get. I did put in Josh Palmer. He kind of underperformed, but we'll kind of see how that goes. I don't mind trotting him out there.
Yeah.
Mostert, my man, did it.
Yeah.
Devontae did what he was supposed to do. So I didn't really have anyone on the squad where I'm like, oh man, I really got to reevaluate. No, and here's the crazy thing: didn't even have Eckler. Couldn't use Eckler. So, like, can you imagine what my points would have been with Eckler in there?
Probably been like 350.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, just a solid week. And somehow with that, because I went up against Keenan, I went against Justin Jefferson, went up against, let's see who else. Hold on, because I had some. So Pickens,
that's who put the fear of the sweat into you last night. As soon as he went for that long touchdown, he was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, because I'm just like, and then I saw how much time was left. I'm like, no. So Olave showed up like he was supposed to. Like literally, the only person that underperformed was Madison. Yeah, well, I mean, really, other than the people we already talked about,
Yeah.
everyone
Anybody
really
out overperformed? Like, well,
yeah.
nobody thought Mostert was going to really. I think they're 31. Yeah, like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, Mostert definitely did what he had to do. I mean, he got me 36 in this league.
Mm.
I would say Brian Robinson, but honestly,
Oh yeah, he
but
two times
honestly,
tutties.
he's not. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. So I mean, yeah, you're definitely balling out. But I mean, he was actually RB1 this week. So,
Mm.
but I'm not surprised. Not to sound like a douche, but just not surprised. Like that's why I had him last year. I was like, yeah, please. Um, it was good to see Drake get some actual play.
Yeah, I seen him
You
get a touchdown. I mean, like,
actually,
I
actually,
immediately got
okay.
it.
I got my person. Gabe fucking Davis. Let's go.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
So he put up, let me see. What's his stat line here? So 6 for 92, a tutty. Yeah. And a little subsidiary stats there too, but it was good to see him actually show up. So now with that being said, can he absolutely drop me 3 points next week? Goddamn right he will.
He's that volatile. Yes,
I
he is.
will bet the farm on that, but I'll still trot him out there because I'm a fucking idiot. So
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, it was a good week. I mean, we can go down all the great players, but you watch the games, we watch the games. We're not doing that. We're not that type of show.
No, I mean, I do want to mention somebody that waiver wire ad that we were clowning, and he went crazy. Puka Nakuka, where the fuck his name?
Yeah,
That
I didn't see that.
went ham sandwich.
He
And
had
I was
20.
playing against him in several leagues. I mean, one league I won, still won, but one league I did lose. And that was the league with the 1 point. I lost by one. If Puka Nakuka didn't show the fuck up, I'd have blew that dude out.
You know how many targets he had?
I think he had like 15 targets.
20.
I know he had 15 catches. That's
Yeah.
15 points of PPR alone without the yards. That's insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was one of
every
those.
play, I was looking at Red Zone and I was just like, every play Stafford was going to him. I'm like, who is this dude? Like, that is one waiver pickup that I definitely slept on. We were joking on clowning.
Well, it's because there's always that sweetheart. And everyone's like, oh my God,
That
I'm
darling.
gonna get him. And it's like, Like, for example, I mean, we'll because we are gonna be talking about waivers here too.
Yeah.
I mean, with Chubb going down, and I literally had this guy just sitting on him, and I got rid of him for Jawan Johnson that didn't even play because fucking stupid. Got rid
You
of.
know what's sad about that? No. You know what's sad about that is you got the number one waiver priority, and you can't even get them because if you drop the player, they don't let you waiver that same player.
Oh, I don't want him.
Oh, you don't want Jerome Ford?
No.
Those are to me on the waiver wire this week. The biggest names is Swift if he's not picked up or somebody dropped him. I think that's just in our league. Jerome Ford, the Tony James dude, or what is this? Is it Tony James, Tony Jr., the Saints running back because Jamal Williams had a hamstring injury, and Saquon's, I guess Breida, if you consider that worth it. I mean, those are the only names I really know. Like other than that, I don't really have no hot receiver names or anybody.
So here's what's going to be interesting. Someone's going to jump in this, and I get it. They're going to burn their pick and get Jerome Ford, and then they're going to realize they're going to sign somebody else, and it's going to be a timeshare. Do you know who Cleveland plays next week? The Titans.
And they got what? They got great run defense.
Good luck running. Have fun with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if Deshaun Watson was a little bit more efficient, I would feel good trotting out that running back. But I looked at him last night, and he didn't. They paid him all that money and gave up all those draft picks, and
I love it so much. I love it so fucking much.
He's no better than Josh Dobbs. I mean, Josh Dobbs balled out a little bit too, so it's like
he did. He did, actually. His weird looking ass.
But yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson ain't showed me none of that magic he had in Houston.
Because
Not
he
since
doesn't
he
have
came
it.
back.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. It's gone. So have fun.
Too busy having women playing and put their thumb in his ass.
Right. This is weird. So I will say that I do face you this week. And I feel like I'm gonna beat you rather swiftly.
Damn! Like I'm a little kid. Like when them football players, when they catch them over top of them and they put their hand down, like you small, like you. So you just gonna do me like that? Like damn! Like you gonna sun me? Like
well, I mean,
down,
like
son.
I said, I'm this
He
beating.
said, sit down, son.
this beating might be very swift.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean,
but yeah. So look, here's the thing. I talked a bunch of shit about picking up Swift and all that other stuff, and I had a claim in, and I took it out. And I had a claim in, and I took it out. I'm putting a claim in. I'm getting Swift.
okay.
Yeah. Now you get the pun, you fucking idiot. It's
that's why now you say swiftly.
There you go.
All right.
But I look at it and it's like, look, this is production. Even if it is a timeshare, even if it goes 60-40 or whatever, it's the top two dogs in that race, him and Gainwell.
Yeah.
Gainwell
ain't even built for the position, so
no. So whatever. I'll burn it. It's week 3. I will absolutely get a number 1 priority by the end of the year again. So I'm not like shooting my load here. It's just like, yeah, you know what? You can't take this pick with you. Who knows when the next big, biggish name will kind of show up. So, and I am a little lackluster on the RB depth. So, hey, you know what? Chuck them in there. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I got Charbonnet and I'm waiting for Walker to get hurt. So it's like, I'm not really playing him. He's now riding the bench. So it's kind of like, yeah, hey, you know what? Chuck him in there, see what's going on. Plus, I don't know what Eckler's situation is. They're not really sure. So I need something in there. So they're playing the Bucks this week. Not in love with it, but
who's playing the Bucks? Saints?
No. Philly.
Yeah.
So, to kind of preview, I mean, I already kind of mentioned it. I have zero desire to watch Thursday's game.
We have to preview it, but yeah.
I mean, I have zero skin in that game at all. So I could.
Not in your league, but in my other leagues, I got Ayuk, I got Kittle, I got Debo. Not wishing for an injury, but I just want them to incorporate Eli Mitchell a little bit more into that offense so I can at least.
C-Mac played 100% of snaps last week.
They didn't give nobody a carry. I'm like,
he had 100% of snaps.
You know this is an injury-prone back, and you have a capable backup. Keep your back fresh. You have to sometimes save a player from himself. I'm pretty sure Shanahan's probably like, hey, we're going to – and he's probably like, no, I want all of them. Like, we need you at the end of the year. We don't need you to fucking ball out of control.
This is coming from the Eli Mitchell owner, by the way. If he was a C-Mac owner, it's a completely different fucking conversation.
No, I'm dead serious. Even if I didn't have Eli Mitchell, I'm just saying, like,
it's funny because they said they're gonna. They said they were gonna like not limit his snaps, but they were gonna like be careful with him. So apparently, instead of having him playing,
I mean, the Giants. I ain't gonna say they already had that game in hand because they came back and it was a big comeback, but. It wasn't like the last couple minutes. If he could have somehow avoided that, he wouldn't be hurt. But now,
fucking that dude's fragile, man. Like, he is he hasn't been in the league long enough to be that fragile, but he has like that fragile tag on him.
See, I would never burn a first or a second round pick on him because of the fragile. You
Yeah.
know,
Plus the team you're on, like Jesus Christ, like the team
I
is
mean,
going.
remember I told you about certain players I just stay away from, and he's one of them. You know, maybe his freshman, I mean, I said freshman, his rookie year, or maybe the year after, but after he got hurt that one major time, I stayed away from him. I mean,
curtains.
even if I had the top pick in the draft, for some reason I would pivot away from CMC because of him getting hurt. My number one running back would be Derrick Henry because he never gets hurt. I understand that some games he's slower, but they run the fuck out of him, and he never gets hurt. I think last year was like the first year I remember him getting hurt. So if I had my choice of the top 5 backs, and it's sitting there staring me in the face, and CMC is sitting there, I might hop over top of him and grab Derrick Henry.
Nope.
CMC just looks too delightful.
Well, look, he's a white running back. Give me something. Christ almighty.
He like, let me bask in my glory, you bitch.
Right. The risk reward, the reward just is so much higher than
reward is crazy.
I will take you missing 2 or 3 games throughout the year to get 14 games of retarded production. I will gladly take that. So
put it this way. CMC, Carolina CMC? Or San Fran CMC? Because San Fran CMC is way more productive because
I want San Fran. Different. Yeah.
I mean, I understand. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that whole top 5 pick, you still would take Carolina CMC?
Yeah. Because the offense literally ran through him and no one else.
That could be a burden.
No. Well, okay. Ask KC that. Tell him Kelsey said, "Hold my fucking beer." That offense runs through. Everyone know. We talked about that. Everyone knows it's going to Kelsey. Same thing with Carolina CMC. Everyone knew he was either running or getting it thrown to him, and you couldn't do fuck all for it. It's like, all right, we'll only hold you to 20 yards this run.
Yeah, I mean, Carolina CMC was already a mismatch, but San Fran CMC with a great
It's gross because there's actually
it's cheating. It's cheating. It's like a Madden team that you stacked up. Like, I'm telling you, San Fran didn't lose Brock Purdy in that championship game. They would have been in the Super Bowl and probably won it.
Yeah, and I was going against Brock Purdy this week, and I'm sitting here looking at his quarterbacks. He had C.J. Stroud and Brock Purdy. I'm like, this is a slam fucking dunk, and I'm sitting here like, fucking C.J. Stroud puts up 380. I'm like, the fuck? and then, I mean, Purdy didn't really do too much, but I'm still like, the fuck is happening? What is this league?
San Fran CMC is, I mean, when you got Debo sitting there and he can take some pressure off, and then you got a backup in Elijah Mitchell, and then you got Ayuk, and you got Kittle, and then you even got that one Jennings dude.
Yep. Yeah.
And then you got a monster defense that gets you the ball right back. They are a tough out. Like, everybody thought that they were just blowing out the Steelers, but no, I mean, they're just a great team.
No, and that's the thing. Team. And it's just such a cool kind of story because, like, Mr. Irrelevant is like, yeah, I have a starting job, bitches. So how are y'all doing? And he looks good. Like, that's the thing. He looks poised.
Like the stage isn't too big for him. Like, and he's even got a little swagger to him. Like, you see him, you know, fist bumping and going crazy and like almost a little cockiness to him. I'm like, okay, you know, he ain't your typical goofy. Yeah, I just give it 110%. Nah, he out there screaming and hollering and having fun. That's what you want some people to do.
I was gonna say, like, you mean like a game? Yeah, that's how it should fucking be played.
Yeah, because I remember you said on a previous pod, you was like, why the hell do they act like it's a funeral after they win the game?
Yeah, the fucking interviews. Yeah, I mean, we played well.
That's what we
It's like, all right,
did.
Eeyore, calm the fuck down. Like,
He
Jesus
said,
Christ,
"Eeyore."
dude. Like,
Yeah. So
but did you notice this? I do want to kind of touch on this, and we can kind of talk about a few other things here. So, found it real funny with Joe Buck last night. He was basically like, just anytime Watson came up, he was like, yeah, I mean, okay, and fuck that dude. Like, you could tell he was just like, yeah, dude, I'm not about your rape game. I'm all set. Like he had like
what he
a
talked like he had disdain for him every
he
time.
absolutely had a disdain for him.
Oh,
It was and
I
I
didn't
don't
notice
know.
that.
I don't know
He
if I
was
was
quick
just
to
gonna
kept bringing up his case. I'm like, what was that? Like 3 years? He was like, yeah, and he was called out for some sexual assault cases. Like he made sure, like it's similar to you ever see like in the paper or even on the news when they are reporting a criminal or something that did something, and then they like lay out their history of what they did. It's like, was that necessary doing that little just to let you know he's a bad guy?
Yeah. and
he's not
that
innocent, yeah.
and that kind of played into it because it's like he kept bringing it up. Like we all know that, but I'm like, you really are like, yeah, fuck this dude, man. Like I like I don't even want to fucking do this game. Like
Yeah.
I'm all and I don't know. I appreciate that because it's like you usually have to walk that line, and they gave Buck kind of the like, yeah, dude.
Well,
Fuck
he
this
knows
guy.
his own worth. It's like if you tell Joe Buck, "Hey, man, you did some questionable shit," he was like, "Fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm well known. I do the World Series every goddamn year. I'll
Right.
find another station." So he
Yeah.
knows his worth. He's like, "Oh, you gonna tell me to get out of here because I offended this dude? I
Bye.
got work. It's people knocking on my door. There's a line out there
Yeah.
getting for people to solicit for my services. So yeah, his rope is definitely a lot longer. He can say a little bit more
Yeah.
because he has a reputation.
And honestly, I'm cool with it because it's like, yeah, dude is kind of dude is kind of a piece of shit. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
Another announcer I noticed that get away with a lot and say some crazy shit on there. Al Michaels, that dude will say some like whatever he's feeling. Like I've heard him even talk about gambling. He'd be like, "Oh, like when there's like a last score that messes up the spread or whatever." He'd be like,
yeah,
"Oh, that's gonna have some people in Vegas upset."
yeah.
I'll be like, "Oh, okay, I know what he said."
Collinsworth kind of does the same a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like Collinsworth. I like him.
I like him. I've always liked him. It's like at first, it was sometimes where I was just like, "Damn, he really hate the Steelers," because you could tell because he was Cincinnati. But
Yeah,
no, I like him. I like Collinsworth, yo. He
yeah. I
doesn't
wish he
really
would
say
like
no
get his
off the
weird ass
wall
looking
shit.
kid off the like. Stop having
Yeah,
your weird
off
ass
the
kid
little
be an
show or
interview.
whatever.
Big awkward looking motherfucker. But
Yeah.
yeah, like
The only announcer I know you really hate is
who?
that one lady announcer.
Oh,
You be like, "Oh my."
shut the fuck up, lady.
She'd be like, "He's down at the first down." He'd be
Fucking
like,
is that
"Man,
Hannah Storm
you
or some
sound like
shit?
a fucking mule."
Well, the first down and
I
all.
be like, "You trying too hard, lady."
Like,
They got to
shut
get somebody with a more charismatic voice because her shit is.
They need someone with a lady voice, not a fucking like, what the fuck that thing is. No, it's not Hannah Storm. Who the fuck is that?
I don't know who it is. I don't know her
It's
name.
terrible.
But you could definitely like one game a week. You can guarantee she's on. She's never on a primetime game. It's one of
Hell
those
no.
It's one of those Houston Texans versus the Colts type of shit.
Right.
Where
Nobody's
nobody's watching, nobody gives a fuck, and they let her announce that game,
Right. It's like letting the special ed kid hit a home run or some shit. That's exactly what it is. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you don't have to like integrate every fucking thing, man. Like,
yeah.
let the fellas have their shit. Like, it's cool. Like,
I mean,
You wanna
and you got the referees. I mean, I see a lot more women referees now. Like before, it
Yeah.
was like one, and you'd be like, "Dang, is that a woman?" Now it's like almost every game there's at
Yeah.
least one woman a part of the crew. So it's like
Right.
it's definitely becoming more
Like
commonplace.
like let the players announce. Let the literal like people that have been doing the announcing for a long time, let them do the like be the sideline things, do the refs. I know it sounds all sexist and it's not. It's just like I don't
Yeah.
like as a dude, I don't want to hear that. Like
I
it
mean, I
just
want
it's
to
just
hear
it's
Kevin Harlan like driving and slicing
right.
for the first down.
Right.
He'd be going crazy.
Right. Now if you could introduce like some ladies that have that, then cool, great. But I haven't seen that. I haven't
Kevin
hasn't come
Harlan be snapping when
love
he.
it.
I don't
Fucking
know why
love
they
it.
got rid of what's the name used to do it snap too. Gus Johnson. Remember when
Yeah.
that one dude caught some miracle? He was like, "Oh my God, it's caught!" and he went crazy. Like
I don't know.
I don't know why they had him. They stopped him from because he still do basketball. I think he still do college basketball, but for
Yeah.
some reason they got him out of the NFL. I don't know why. He was a good announcer, but yeah, Kevin Harlan be fucking snapping.
Yeah, he's the
Hey,
best.
instead of
And
he ran for 4 yards, Kevin Harlan described the greatest 4 yard run ever. Like he slices and dices with the.
yeah.
Oh man, and that you get the juices flowing. You know, I mean,
Fuck
it's
yeah, he will make you excited over a fair catch.
you know. He caught it with the sun in his eyes, and you're like,
Right.
damn.
You're sitting here ready to fucking put on pads after like he's just telling you about the coin toss. Like
Oh man, there's nothing like that Sunday feeling, man. I'm telling you, man. It's like here we are at what Tuesday,
yeah.
and I can't wait to get to. It's like soon as the Sunday ends, I can't wait to get to the next Sunday. It's like I want to just. I wish I could DVR my week, like and just go to work
Right.
and just get to right before that 5 minute countdown on Red Zone and do it all over again. Like damn.
Yeah, but the waiting is what makes it worth it.
True.
You know. So
And then if they put a game on every night, it would be oversaturation. So
yeah.
but football is the only sport that I can recall where all the games happen at the same time because basketball, baseball, hockey, they don't all play at the same time. On any night, it could be 4 teams playing, 9 teams playing. There's no specific day. They play all day throughout the week.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Football is like you got to wait and wait
Right.
and wait, and then boom, everything happens, you know, and then it's all right, now we cut it off. It's almost like you're starving or you need some water, and they might give you a few drips on Thursday night. You're like, and you get a little bit, but you're still thirsty, and then boom, the faucet just turns on with everything, and all the water, you gobble up as much as you can, and then they cut it off.
I'm not looking forward to the international series. I hate that shit.
The only thing I like about it is I don't have to wait till these shows, you know, because this Sunday I did get up kind of early, and just waiting around was driving me crazy. The only thing with the international games just gives me something to pacify me until we get to the.
Yeah, but goddamn, the games are always fucking terrible. They always send the
They like
Jaguars.
those. They like those third. It's always the Jaguars. Always the Jaguars. It seems like the Jaguars got a home over there.
Yeah. Which is weird because I'm like, who the fuck cares about the Like, they barely care about football, but you mean to tell me they give a shit about fucking the Jaguars?
Yeah. So
they're doing like what, 2 London games and 2 Germany games?
Something. I think every year they try to keep expanding, and it's like either a bunch in London, then there's always like a New Mexico game or something. Not New Mexico, Mexico. I said New Mexico. Yeah, there's like Estudio Azteca or some shit. That's the name of the stadium or whatever. There's always a Mexican game, and then there's the London games. And I think they're trying to expand to Germany, or I heard the Rooney family's trying to get one in Ireland or something like that.
Like it's literally gonna like have like international teams. Like, fucking, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it because the quality of the game. Like if I was a part of the franchise, knowing that takes one of my home games, that would be a problem for me.
If I was an owner, yeah. I'm pretty sure that those owners get compensated by the NFL because they, like you said, you only have 8 chances or 9 chances. I guess it's 17 games now, but you only got 8 chances to put butts in your seats and charge $18 a beer, and that's a lot of revenue you're taking away from me, and you're shipping it up.
I'm going more for like the players, like the home field advantage, just I don't know. That is a very real thing, and that being taken away from you because they want to get international money. It just seems
and they got a nerve to call one of them the home team. It's like we're both away, far away. Like what are you talking about? I'm a home team.
and that takes it out of them. Like that is international travel. That is not just going over from New York to Cali. Like that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just saying from an owner standpoint, I would be pissed that I'm losing revenue on one of the games that I could fill my stadium with. But pretty sure the NFL compensates them on the back end behind that because they are.
Absolutely have to.
Yeah. Ain't no owner going to agree to that. Like you're not taking a game away from me.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got about 5-6 minutes left. Let's kind of talk about our little head-to-head here because.
I mean, I just lost a major back.
A little history here. A little history here. Every time we play, it's either the Bimageddon or
some type of asterisk involved, like
which there already is now because I'm probably not going to have Eckler and you're not going to have Chubb. So I mean, at least in that sense, it's
that's a push. Yeah.
But yeah, usually there's always some kind of shenanigans, and it's like we can never get a good. So I was excited. Then I'm like, God damn it, Eckler, really? First round pick? Fucking
do. I think what's the name? Well, no, I think Chubb was my first running back off the board. I mean, of course, I took the quarterbacks with the first couple rounds, but my first Chubb was my first round too. So yeah.
I mean, you
Eckler. You literally took Eckler in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I put him in the lineup just to see, so it made my projections look a little bit better. But
I don't know how many times I've done that on TV where I know they're not playing, or it's a miracle if they play, but because their projection's so high and you don't want to look like you're so far off from the other player that you just throw that in there until the last minute just to look okay.
Yeah, I mean you're not a heavy favorite, but you're up by 20. So in this league, that's not like in normal leagues. That's like oh shit, I need a lot of stuff to happen. This is like, one big play and a few catches, you make up for that 20. So
I'm just saying, I'm strapped for running back. It's like, with Cordell Patterson, they didn't even activate him. I was all excited about him being a joker, and I'm like, he's healthy, and they didn't even activate him. I'm like, that don't look good.
Yeah, so, no, he's done. Bijan has absolutely.
Bijan has got skill. I ain't gonna say I thought he was trash, but I didn't think he was as good as he's shown. So yeah,
it's one of those things. There's always that hype train, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is great!" And everyone's great, and then it ends up being like, no, he wasn't. Like, no,
I mean, out of all the rookies.
I mean, Addison looks good too.
Out of all the rookie running backs, he's by far ahead of all of them. He might even be the best rookie. I mean, Zay Flowers is impressing me out in Baltimore. That dude is looking pretty nice. Other than that, I don't really. What other rookies are impressing you? That's it. That's about it for me.
I mean, for running backs, nobody. But I mean, Addison looks good from a wideout
Oh
standpoint.
yeah, Addison. He still don't got a big enough body of work for me. Seems like, but
No, but I mean, either does Bijan. I mean, they both only have 2 games, so it's like,
I just think that Bijan get more opportunities than Addison do at this point.
oh yeah,
Um, it's Puka Nakua. He's a rookie, right? Yeah,
yeah,
I'm assuming.
yeah.
But
But I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not.
he didn't come out with any hype or fanfare. Like this dude was not even drafted. So, or no, they drafted him, but it was like 6th, 7th round or something like that. But
He's
other
a
than that,
pro. He's a
I don't
product
really
of our
see
fan.
any rookies really making a lot of noise besides them two or them three.
But
Nope.
what's our matchups looking like, though? Let's see. Let's see here. All right. So,
And then your Eckler thing, you
yeah,
only lost him temporarily. I lost my back for the whole seat. There ain't no coming back. That's what I'm like.
yeah, there really
Damn.
isn't. Well, I already know one move I'm gonna make here. I'm definitely not playing Geno Smith against Carolina.
Do you really respect Carolina's defense like that?
I mean, I feel better about playing Carr against Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
by
let Desmond
comparison.
they let Desmond Ritter get off, then yeah, that defense is pretty shitty.
So I'm cool with plus I get the stack of him and Olave and, eat into your Shaheed stuff. So yeah, I'm okay with it. And who knows if I mean Metcalf will probably play. He's the only person that's questionable on your squad at the moment. So well, him and Mooney. Mooney's who knows.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just need another back because I don't like Jarrett McKinnon in that spot. So definitely need another back. I will be shopping for one.
Oh yeah, are you gonna go get Mr. Ford Tough over there?
If he's available, I will
He will
definitely
be.
play him. Huh?
What waiver are you?
I think I'm fourth.
Mm.
Well, probably won't. I mean, the people that are ahead of me, they're not the most waiver savvy, but they might. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think after last night's performance, people are gonna grab him. It's not gonna. I mean, they're gonna grab him, then they're gonna be sad. So
Well, I'll just move up in the order, and find me, some serviceable or, ride with McKinnon. I mean, that's a risk, but hey,
please do
sometimes
that
you
for me.
win weeks with
No, actually,
zero.
no. Actually, no. Don't do that to me. Don't play McKinnon because
You will be waking up with nightmares like McKinnon.
yeah,
Oh man,
we gotta
that
figure
dude is
out.
in both of our dreams.
God, ugh.
Mm.
We should figure out some kind of wager from. Oh, you know what? Here's what we can do. Maybe if people actually want to aid here, come up with a little wager for us. Between us. You know, you
And
know.
we're not rich, so we're not going to go beyond $20 or anything
Right.
like that. Like we're not going to put $100 down on this game or anything like that. We're not balling out of control.
No, I'm
At least
saying
I'm not.
for
He got the wife that got over 100K. So, but I don't have that. So
yeah. Well, just I would love for that to actually matter now, but it's like, dude, we're
with this
ugh,
damn economy and your president that you love, I mean, shit is insane. The prices and inflation is just ridiculous.
yeah.
In the shop and save, I bought like 3 bags of maybe 2 or 3 items in each bag, $65. I'm like, for
Yeah.
food, like, oh my god,
Well, yeah, I mean, I told you the budget for food over here is like 300 a week.
a week.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? Well, $60 for a person that lives alone.
Yeah.
Insane. So that's a whole different story. That's something for the X's. And
Yeah, which we will be getting back to our grind here on Saturday. So,
mhm.
unless you want to move that to Fridays.
It depends. That would be like a week by week type of thing.
Yeah, I don't want to like take away your weekend or anything. I mean, I'm a fucking loser. I don't do shit. So
yeah. I mean, committing Friday and Saturday there.
that's
And we're already doing Tuesday. It's like, yeah, it could be a little excessive. So it depends, man. I mean, we can either stick with the Saturday and just go for the gusto and just make sure don't, because football is a lot easier to do than X's, to be totally honest, because X's is, we got topics and we got it's kind of uncharted territory that what we're doing. Football is like, I could talk this in my sleep,
right.
And it's what I'm thinking of all week anyway. So my in between time, every time I go to the bathroom and take a shit at work, first thing I'm doing is pulling up that app and looking what things I can do to improve, or seeing an update and who practiced today. So that's not work at all. So
right.
Yeah, let's keep it like X's is a little harder to do, but let's keep it on Saturday for now. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to commit to anything on Friday night because
that's too much. I feel like it was a fleeting thought, but I just want to get your temperature on it because I'm like, I don't know. I have no qualms doing it. It's whatever to me, but I'm also like, I don't want to take away your weekend because that's really just taking away the whole thing.
Friday, then Saturday, then football, then boom, right back to work.
Right.
Then football, then to another show. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just keep it on Saturday.
But yeah, we will be back on Saturday with the review of Thursday's whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Disaster. And after all the injuries and practice reports and
actually talk about good games like on Sundays. Yeah.
Yep.
Which somehow or another Thursday will be the best game of all time because that's how that works.
That's the NFL machine, crazy machine, but I just don't see it. I don't see the Giants scoring more than 7 points if they can even get that. Even if they had Saquon, I don't see them getting past 7 points.
No, if they had Saquon, they would score. But with what they got out there, there's no. But
he gave him a ray of hope. If it was a Giants fan watching this, they're like, "What is he gonna say?" And then he was like, "No."
No. But here's exactly what's going to happen. Giants are going to win by 5.
If that happened, man, somebody had to get hurt from playing for him.
I'll put 5 on. I'll put 5 that the Giants will win.
Are you serious? Are you okay? I mean, you need me to take your temperature, or
no? I mean, you can pull a Watson and put your thumb on my ass, but yeah.
That's how you take a temperature too.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go on one of the sports books, and I'm gonna take Giants. I'm gonna take Giants -3.
You want to bet 5? We can do 5. That's an easy 5. You can buy me a pack of sunflower seeds or something. That's about all I can get.
No, I'm saying I'm going on the sports book and I'm putting 5 on, like, okay. If I look at it,
spread and all that,
yeah. But
have you done it? I mean, I know you put in some. Have you won big on anything yet? Parlays or anything?
I haven't bet.
Oh, you haven't even done it?
No, because I don't want to touch anything like that for real until like week 5.
Until you got a pattern, you got a nice body of work to go off of.
Right.
That's smart.
Right now, you have no idea. Like, you got the people that are just like, oh my God, I'm going to bet. It's like, okay, you're going to bet.
That's all they talk about in that chat. That's what I'm saying. They talk about putting this and parlaying this and and I'm like, you literally have no clue. Like, you don't have any history to draw from. So you're just really just
Right. Let the teams establish themselves.
Gambling, you truly are gambling with no like. There's a such thing as a hypothesis gambling with educated guess gambling. This is just straight up no clue.
Yeah, I mean this little bet I'm going to put in for Thursday is just kind of a fun thing because it's like, you know what, the narrative is like San Fran's a heavy favorite, yada yada yada. Watch they fall in their face.
You're gonna force yourself to watch just because of the bet, right?
Oh, I ain't watching shit. I'm not fucking watching that game. Fuck no, I'm gonna put the 5 and keep it the fuck moving.
Yeah, I'm a pretty much score watch because usually on Thursday when that game starts, I'm still at work and then I still got to catch the bus, and so I'm gonna just be watching while I'm, with the sound down, just paying attention.
And I do actually like San Fran, but it's just not one of those games where I'm like, I can't watch the Giants, man. It's like, oh god, fuck off.
Yeah.
Go away.
All right then.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
So, yeah, and go fuck yourself this week.
You do the same to yourself politely.
Oh, I will, baby. You know just how I like it. Toodles, kids.